So, is the audio visuals clear? Can we start? Yeah, thank you. So the previous class we had discussed about business correspondence. We understood the basics about what are the importance of correspondence in business, how letters are being drafted, and what are the ways a letter can be drafted. Okay, and post that we understood what are the importance of a report. Okay, a report is yet again another format of business communication which comes into picture. So we understood what are the importance of report and what are the different types of report. So today we will understand what are the writing for effectively writing an business report. What are the essential things? Okay, so when you're writing a report, okay, kindly don't follow a format like writing an essay. Okay, it's very important. Like how we do in an essay, we constantly keep writing all the information whatever we know and keep going. But here, while writing a report, we have to ensure that whatever information we are giving, it is helpful and useful to the other entity. Okay, so we have to be clear that it is informative to the other person and have an abridged style. So what is an abridged style? So what we are doing is make it into proper paragraphs. Okay, like 4 sentences or 5 sentences, make it into one paragraph, give some space, go to the next paragraph, then start with the content. So ensure that the content flow is very neat and clear, and help the person whoever is reading your report, okay, might be a senior or any other person who's reading it, make it easier for them to navigate through the report. So to navigate, what we have to do, we have to give something called as executive summary or index or table of contents. Okay, so it becomes easier for them, and always have proper headings. So if we are talking about sales, okay, sales in the month of January. Okay, so I have to say region wise what is the sales. So let's say Bangalore, what is the sales? Mumbai, what is the sales? Noida, Kolkata. Okay, so region-wise give the sales. Might be it's easier to give in the format of graphs, okay, bar graphs or line graphs, whatever it is. So give it with graphs or diagrams, pictures, bullet points. So make it easier for the reader. So lot of information is grasped in a very quick, clear, and efficient way, and they are not spending too much of time. As much as possible, reports can be brief. I told you already, when I'm doing a presentation or something like that, we can give certain reports to the audience, okay, or people who are attending the meetings and all these things. So we have to give them 1 or 2 page report. Or if I'm presenting a large amount of information like financials of the year, or information provided in the annual general meeting like annual reports, all these pages can be from several pages to hundreds of pages. Okay, that is okay. So if the report becomes too lengthy, kindly ensure that table of contents or index is being added. Okay, so what are the important things in a report? The first one is executive summary. Executive summary is I'm going to give a brief report as to what my let's say my report is 100 pages. Okay, so if it is 100 pages, first I will explain what is given, what is going to be covered in this 100 pages in the first 1 or 2 pages. Okay, so if you have an habit of reading any novel or something, there you would have identified before an entire book is being explained, the first 2 sheets they will tell what is the content of this book. Okay, like research books or things like that, they will always explain in the first 2 sheets what is going to be there in the rest of the book. So this is what we call it as executive summary. The next will come as the body of the report. The body of the report will contain the entire details, like whatever I've given in the table of contents, I would have given just like your textbook. Just remember any of your college textbooks, or ICSI textbooks. We have what is the chapters, okay, in information about the chapters. Then we have what are the contents covered in that. Might be in executive textbook you will find it. So first will be only the chapter headings. The next will be chapter headings with little bit of content what we cover in each chapter. Then we go in detail in each chapter. Okay, so after that we are going to give something called as key findings and recommendation. This you can give it at the end or after each chapter. Okay, so after each analysis, like if I'm giving a report related to a company, I can give after sales, I can give one key findings. After purchases, I can give one key findings or recommendation. After logistics department, I can give one. After production department, I can give one. After in like this, okay, various departments whatever we have, after that we can give one key findings, and finally at the end I'm going to give one conclusion as to what is the research, what analysis we have done. See, most of the time the reports will not be like a detailed report like this 100 sheets will not be prepared only by you. Okay, so you'll be having a team of people, along with them you'll be performing. So then you will also have to discuss with them and come with a conclusion, and in the conclusion you're going to tell what is the final analysis and what you have found out. Okay, so these are the four things which becomes important, or the basic things what you have to keep in mind while drafting a report. Okay, so after this, what are the effective business report points to be kept in mind? Here, you have to ensure the objective of the report is being clearly told at the beginning in the executive summary. Then, what is the format of the report? So, kindly maintain a same format throughout the report. So, if it is 100 pages, ensure the font is same, the size of the font is same, the color of the font is same. So if you are using any for key findings and all, if you're highlighting it in red or some other color, maintain the same information throughout the report. Okay, user of the report, always ensure that you're keeping the user of the report in your mind, and for their understanding and information you're preparing the report. Requisite information or inputs data, and here if you want any analysis to be done or survey to be done, okay, so you can request for information or input data from various other departments. Then after that, collect all the data and facts whatever is required, and after that start analyzing and fact finding procedure. So based on the survey or research whatever you have done in the organization, try to collect as much as information as possible, and with this information you go with fact finding. Okay, so you analyze a certain inputs and find out what are the important aspects in this particular report, and after that you're going to draft your proper executive summary, and then start with the body, key findings and conclusion. Okay, so these are the important additional important things to be kept in mind while drafting a report. Okay, so with this we complete what are the importance of reports. So next what we are going to start is inter and intra department communication. So for the best example I'll give you about your college. So in your college, if you want to have a seminar, or let's say you want to have a fest. Okay, so what is interdepartment? So let's say people of BCom coming together, people of BBM coming together, people of BA coming together, people of MBA coming together, people of MSc coming together. Okay, so if BCom people are discussing within themselves, it will be called as interdepartment. When only BBM people are communicating interdepartment. When MBA or MSc people separately, when they're communicating with themselves, it'll be considered as inter-department. Okay, so what is intra-department? When BCom people start communicating with BBM people, or BBM people start communicating with MBA people, okay, that is one department people communicating with another department, it will be called as intra-department. So in office or organizations or manufacturing sectors, how does it work? So let's say finance department wants to talk with just a minute, I'll close my chat box. Okay, I'm not seeing your chats, so kindly hold on. We'll go with it after completing this chapter. So um, the here what will happen, the finance department people having a communication with sales department, or sales department having a communication with logistics with purchase department, that will be called as intra department. But whereas finance department communicating within themselves, or sales within themselves, logistics within themselves, or purchase within themselves, that will be considered as my interdepartment. Okay, then here most of the times the communication will be formal communication, whether it is inter or intra department, and the staff in the organization play a very important role. Today employees are being involved in every decision making of the company, and they are becoming a key to an organization. So hence we are giving more benefits to the employees like ESOPs and all these things, that is employee stock options, where certain amount of shares are being offered to them when they give certain reliable and important information to the organization and help the organization to grow. Okay, so with this things kept in mind, giving more importance to the employees, we are having all these communication systems within the organization. So the first format, what is it? See, there is no writing things in your exam, so kindly don't worry. They won't ask you draft a memorandum, draft a office order, office circular and all. Just for your understanding, we are giving you samples, but read these contents what's given here and understand these concepts. From these concepts any questions can be asked. Okay, so here this is a form of a communication memorandum where a note or a few this is actually being recorded for future purpose, and it will always being, once it's being circulated, it will be kept in the organization. Okay, just like your office memos, sorry, college memos. So in college you would be getting memos like the office timing is being sorry, the college timing is being changed, or the class when the class is gonna take place, that particular classes are being rescheduled. Okay, so all these things, when a particular in a book, okay, they will send it across to all the classrooms. Whoever is the faculty taking that, they'll sign at the bottom and give it that to this particular class I have announced, things like that. That is similar to memos. Okay, so this is one of the important aspect for internal communication in an organization. So we have done what is internal and external communication within the organization. If I want to communicate, it will be considered as internal. If I want to communicate inside the organization with external world, it will be considered as my external communication, where memos are see, they did not call it as memorandum. The short form will be called as memos. Okay, they are preferred when certain information, one person has to give certain information in writing to another person. Okay, there are certain minor variations from one company to another company. It depends on the company procedures. However they want, they can follow with the process. Okay, so the titles, the other titles what will be given for a memo will be inter-office communication or office memorandums or inter-office correspondence. So they can ask you, memorandum is also called as what of the three options given. Okay, like that they can give. So kindly make a small note like memo is also called as inter-office communication, office memorandums, or inter-office correspondence. Okay. So here we will understand the, we'll just go through one sample only for this, okay, memorandum, not for office circulars and all, just for your understanding. So the company name will be given there. So generally it will be a book or something, or if it is in records or printed format where they type and paste it on the notice board of the office, then the office name will be given. They will give a reference number. Reference number is where each memorandum will be numbered in a particular format, and then once it's being sealed and signed, after it will be put up on the notice board. Once it's removed from the notice board, it will go to its file wherever it is being saved. Okay, then the name of the sorry, date, then office memorandum. They will generally give what is the content. Okay, the content will not be in 4-5 paragraphs and all. It will just be a 3-liner or 4-liner with a 3-4 sentences. That's all. A small message which will be sent across, followed by who is sending the message and to whom it is being sent, and who is gonna intermediate this message. So let's say finance department is sending it to sales department, but in between they require help or assistance of HR department. Okay, so it is being sent by finance department to sales department through HR department. Okay, like that. If any help is required, we will just give who is sending it to whom, through whom will also be provided. Okay, this is basically a format of internal communication. Fine. So the next one, what we are going to see, so they have given 1, 2, 3 examples. You can go through them for your understanding. Okay, memorandums are also used, also issued in the case of disciplinary actions being taken against employees and replies thereto. These include memos relating to show cause notice, charge sheet, etc. So in your college, it will be like if you are attending the assembly late, or if you're not at, if you have shortage of attendance. Okay, so even at that cases, when they give notices, that will be considered as memos. Okay, so the next concept what's going to come into picture is office circulars. When a certain amount of information has to be updated to a large number of people, we can't give something called as memorandum and send it across to every organization wherever it is being located, like Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, or Delhi, and all these places. Okay, so for this thing, what we do is we go with something called as office circulars. So this is disseminating information to a large number of people. Basically, it is one of the forms of internal communication, traditionally been brief and business-like format and devoid of salutations. So here, if you see, it is more the traditional method of sending information to large number of employees will be through office circulars. Here, we start with the company name. We start with circular number or reference number, date. Here we don't have any salutations, dear sir, dear madam, or anything. The content will be provided, and whoever is passing on this message, only they will sign. This won't be given to whom it is addressed, because this is addressed to everybody in the organization. Okay, so that's when office circulars will come into picture. Then you have office orders. So what happens with office orders? Office orders similar to that of memorandums. Here, purpose and tone employed will be slightly different. What matters is the rights and privileges of the employees, and the language is generally formal and legal. Okay, here we use little passive voice and remain in force till revoked or are filled with for or filed for future references. Here, most of the times what happens here, basically certain instructions are being provided to a group of people. Okay, this will be this circular, this office order will be put across on the notice board or wherever it is until it is effective. Once a new policy or a new order comes in place, they will remove this and put the new order, like change in office timings. Okay, so due to COVID situation, the office timings is going to be 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Okay, so till the COVID situation gets better, the timings, details of the timings will be posted on the notice board. So this is called as office order. So might be after the situation improves, they might put another order saying that the regular timings of the office is being changed to 9:30 to 5:30. Okay, so these things are called as office orders. Here also it will be given department wise or region wise or location wise. Okay, so these will be your office orders. Then after that you have office notes. So office notes are simple, where information is being exchanged between two departments. As I told you, finance department wants to send some information to HR department, or sales department, or sales wants to send some information to logistics department. When they want to do that, they will send something called as office notes. Okay, so office notes need not be very formal. Today it can also be in personalized style. Okay, however you want, you can send it across. But generally, with computers coming into picture today, we are not using most of these formats until and unless your system is still like your company is still going with the typical physical printed formats. Most of the places it is being made into soft copies and emails, and we have servers, internet, and all these things. In that, the information is being passed across. Okay, so these are the different formats with respect to inter and intra department communication. So what happens here, few points to remember. A memorandum is different from letter, but in format and its effect, the addressee, it remains similar. Okay, does not have a salutation and complimentary clause like a letter. Subject is written very clearly and it is being underlined. Issuing instruction to the staff, policies, inviting suggestions, giving information, and making requests. For all these purpose, memorandums and internal communications, intra-department communication or inter-department communication will be used, and the language used is most of the times polite and courteous. Okay, it won't be rude or strict or in the form of giving any orders. Okay. So now the next concept what we are going to understand is management information system. So what happens with management information system? Here, the basic understanding what we are going to gain is we are going to understand how MIS came into picture. As I told you, most of the places we previously, okay, at least one 2000 or 2010 till till then, most of the companies were running in the physical format. Okay, their documentation, the way they accounts are being preserved, everything had to be in sheets and papers. But today, everything is being converted into soft copies with the help of Microsoft. We have Excel sheets, Word documents, PDFs. We have additional tools like Tally, SAP, Navision, Dynamics. Okay, so all these things are providing certain assistance where information can be a large amount of data can be stored in a relatively small place and it can be accessed by many people. How is this possible? It is possible with the help of MIS coming into picture. So what happens with MIS? Here, executives, whoever are there in the top level management, who are helping the company to have its organization policy, basically called as the leaders or top level people, they will be providing the planning, organization, staffing, supervising, controlling, all these business activities will be taken up by them, and they are the people who will be doing the decision making process for the organization, like what is going to be my sales, what is going to be my target, what is going to be my revenue for this year, next 5 years. Okay, they'll do it for this particular financial year, and they will also do it as a budget for next year, next 5 years targets, everything they will be taking care of. Here, when they are doing such kind of analysis and interpretation and setting targets, they require additional information, okay, in detailed information, and the information is required from each and every department. Okay, this creates a huge demand on the organization to enhance the way information is being stored day to day and how the information can be extracted to make decisions. Okay, for this perspective, every company now is coming up with a policy where they are implementing MIS into their system. Okay, so what are the major postulates of MIS in an organization? So what are the major importance, why it needs to be taken up, and how it needs to function? Like MIS is basically periodic, exceptional, and based on demand. So here basically what happens when an MIS system is being updated. Let's say for example your attendance. Okay, few of your colleges might already have this biometrics attendance. So what is happening, as soon as we come, we have to give our thumb impression or we have to swipe our ID cards. So by this, what is happening, there is a system which is recording my in time and out time. Okay, so this is happening every day. The similar way, what are the sales happening in a particular day? What is the quantum of purchase happened in a particular day? What are the amount of goods being shipped on a particular day by logistics department? Finance department, what is the incoming cash that's coming? What are the receivables received? What are the payments being made? Okay, like this, every day, week, fortnight, monthly, quarterly, half yearly, yearly, information can be divided. Then you have pre-specified and fixed. Okay, the formats are generally being fixed, like my Excel sheet formats, or the way my invoice is going to be generated, the way my bills are going to be generated, the way my extract sheets or reports, if I want anything, how do I extract the information? These formats will generally be determined by the company, like at the time of implementation of the MIS. Then you have extraction and manipulation of operational data. So here what happens when the information is not very clear, like extraction and manipulation of data. Here, when the operational data is already being available and it is very huge, whatever information we want, like if you have downloaded your bank statement from a net banking, you will understand. So it will ask which month you want. Okay, if I give that particular month and say extract, it will give only the information transaction what's happened in that particular month. Okay, like that, even in organization, it will be easier for us to extract whatever data we want. Then the performance of the organization can be studied. What is the actual performance, how it is being performed, what are the targets? Okay, so what is being received, what is being achieved as against the budget? Okay, all these concepts becomes easier for us to understand. Then intelligence and implementation stage of decision making, it becomes easier for the top level management to analyze all this information and take proper decision making steps. Structured decisions for operational and tactic planning and control. So the top level management can study what is the differences, what is happening, what is the mistake that is happening. Based on that, they can take proper action and planning control. Okay, then What is the purpose of MIS? It helps organization perform better in terms of providing information to the tax authority, shareholders, other stakeholders, supplier, customers. Then plan for the future of the company, whether it is short term or long term. It helps us to take control over the day-to-day activities of the company. If there's any mistake or anything, immediately it can be corrected. Allocate different types of resources wherever required. Allow management by exception. So if any person is not there, or if any department is not there, or if any approval is getting delayed, if let's say if somebody has COVID and they're not coming for 15 days to office, their approval is always being required. At that particular time, what happens? Instead of waiting for that particular person, we provide exemption. Without their approval, another person can approve and the process can work. Okay, we are not going to stop. And develop a database with the help of the providers, like it can be Infosys, TCS, okay, IBM, whoever is providing my software. I can devise the way I want it for my organization. And whoever like it helps the new joinees at whatever level they are coming to study what is the organization process. So if you get into a company, then you will understand. Once you join, there'll not be there might be 1 or 2 days HR general training. After that, they will all give you books, videos and stuff like that. You have to read that and you have to understand. Okay, that's how MIS generally helps our organization in cost cutting and all these elements. So here, to understand what is MIS, which helps us in decision making process, we have to understand three concepts. That is, one is management, the next one is information, the next one is system. So management is linked with information and system. Information is linked with management and system. System is linked with information and management. Okay, so all three are interconnected systems here. Okay, so what is individually what these concepts mean? So what is management, what is information, what is system? Okay, we will just understand this. So you all will be knowing, if you're from commerce background, the first thing what we study in business studies will be management. So what is management? The art of getting things done through others. So the basic concept is, in management we have certain things like planning, controlling, decision making, communication, reviewing. Okay, so all the organizing, staffing, all these things will come into picture for management. So the basic thing is, what we have a lot of people, from them we have to get the designated and desired work what the organization wants. So if the organization wants a target of 500 cars to be sold or 5,000 cars to be sold, if this is my target, then my management will set this as a target and ensure the employees in the organization work towards this target. Okay, so this is what plays a very important role in management. So management is nothing but the basic planning, organizing, staffing, controlling, communicating, all these things coming into picture, where a target is being reached and the people in the organization work towards this target or objectives and ensure the work is getting done. Okay, those are the basic things what management will be performing. The next thing will be information. So each department in an organization will have certain information in the organization. Okay, the information can be in the form of what is the sales happen, what is the purchase happen, what is the logistics departments happening, what is the accounts receivable, accounts payable. Okay, what is the shipments being in transit. Okay, so all these things are called as information. Okay, which needs to be inputted and kept across. So here, if you see, they have given an example. What are the now let's say we just ask some question and the answer comes in this format. What are the sales of the packaged goods by marketing department and projections for the next quarter? The answer would be 11. Here it is information, not the data, since the number 11 is being considered as a input. Okay, so if I ask you a question and if you give a number, that number is considered as a information. Okay, not as a plain data or something like this. But generally, if they just give you a number 11, the number 11 will not have any importance or relevance. So that's why we have to understand, if a particular number or something is being provided, it will not have any input. But to a number being provided as against a particular question, that is considered as some information because it is being processed. So raw data, when it is being processed and being stored in a particular place, it will be considered as information. So management is something where work is being getting done. Information is something where the information is being the basic data is being processed with respect to management, every action what's happening in the management. Then you have systems. So system is basically the hardware what we have, okay, along with the software, like your computer, along with the relevant application whatever we want, like Tally, SAP, Microsoft, Excel sheets if you want. Okay, so however we want, when we have a proper system to collect all this information and store it in one place, then systems come into picture. Okay, so system is important for supporting an organization to take relevant decisions. So system will help me to store the information. Information will be stored in various hard drives and all these things. Okay, so whenever the management wants the information, the system will support me in order to grasp or pull out the information whatever is required. I can take it out and the management will use this information to make certain decisions, just like your net banking what I told you, the same one. Okay, in net banking, when we say we are gonna download certain financials or our information what we have for a particular month or something. Okay, what are the transaction status and all these things. When I'm trying to withdraw all this information, that means I as an individual, I'm giving input to the system and the information is being extracted. Okay, so MIS will be linked with one another in this particular format. So how does MIS be structured in an organization? The structure of the organization will be in different levels, that is strategic planning, tactic and operational. So strategic planning is something like top level management people will be involved in strategic planning, middle level people will be involved in tactic planning, lower level people will be involved in operational planning. So what happens in strategic planning? Top level management has to take certain decisions, okay, like chairman or discussing with the vice presidents, CEOs, CFOs, all these people, and they are going to understand what is the operation of the company, how it is performing, what is the budgets, what is the political situations, what is the condition in a particular country. Okay, based on all these things, information, decisions will be taken. Okay, so this is what we call it as strategic planning. So top level people, whatever analysis they are doing, for them information is being required, that will be my top level strategic planning. That is top level strategic planning, management and their information requirement. Here basically the decisions what they take in the top level management will be long term. Okay, it will not be for 1 month or 2 months or short term within a year and all these things. It will generally be for long term. That is what is going to be my budget for next year, what will be my budget for 5 years down the line. Okay, so what is going to be my budget? So all these things we have to understand, and based on this we are going to take up a decision. Okay, so for all these perspective we require something called as strategic planning, and information will be required by them at a different level. Okay, so whatever, hence the top level people will be having access to the information, the entire organization's information. Okay, they will be able to access their level information, middle level information, and also the lower level information. Okay, so this comes with respect to top level or strategic planning. Next is tactic planning or middle level management and their information needs. Here you will have finance managers, sales managers, HR managers, purchase managers. Okay, all these people will be involved, or various other heads of the organizations will come into picture, and they will be working for their departments alone. Okay, excuse me, they won't be working for other departments or anything, only for that particular department. Whatever is the work required for that particular department, information will be accessible for them. Okay, they will take care of administrative activities. Basically the targets and goals will be set by the top level management, and these people will ensure that whatever is being set by the top level management, the company is working towards that. Okay, There is nothing called as they need not be worried about the external environment, what is the political situation and all these things. This is basically a medium to long run. Okay, so it can be from 1 year to 3 years. What are the actions to be taken will be considered in this middle level management. Then you have supervisory or supervisory level or operational level. Here will be the people who will be your blue collar laborers, where instructions will be given by the middle level management. Here there will be supervisors, rank officers, clerks, okay, all these people who will listen to the instructions of your managers, and they will start working on this. Here there will be small policies, plans, procedures which are applicable day to day or month, okay, maximum month or maximum 6 months. Their planning will not be more than that. To do this particular job, what is the information required, MIS will assist to get them. People in this particular level will not be able to access information in the middle level or top level. Okay, so they can access information lesser than their level in the organization, but not higher in the organization. Okay, they are basically of a standard format, and they don't require changes in the large run, and they are not concerned about the external environment at all. Okay, only the internal environment plays an important role for the operational level people. Okay, then what are the characteristics of MIS? One, it is comprehensive. That is, as I told you, if you consider the entire organization MIS, yes, it is considering each level, top level what information is required, middle level what information is required, lower level what information is required. As internal organization, the information is being compiled, that is being compared with the external organization. So there is a comprehensive procedure. Okay, then it is being coordinated. Yes, top level is coordinated with middle level is coordinated with bottom level, lower level is again providing information to the top level. So they are all being interlinked and coordinated. There are subsystems. Yes, there will be various subsystems, like finance department will be one subsystem, purchase will be various subsystem, sales one, logistics one, but all these departments will be connected. Okay, wherever required connection will be provided, but individually they will be having different modules. So once you start working with SAP and all these things, you will understand there will be different finance modules, sales modules, purchase modules, and all these things, but these modules will be connected with one another wherever we want to grasp information. That's what is considered as integration. Also, when various models are being connected with one another, that means it's being integrated, and it helps me in transferring data. That is your next point. When I want data from purchase department, if finance department wants any data, they need not wait for the purchase department to be active. They will be having certain amount of access in purchase department. They can go and check those information. Okay, so data transfer will be easier within the organization when MIS is in picture. It enhances the productivity. Yes, I'm not creating dependency in the organization. Okay, my dependency in the organization is reduced, so it becomes easier for me for implementing things in my organization, and it becomes easier and effective in doing all these process. Okay, conform to manager styles and characters. So if I want any changes in the way a report is being extracted or the way certain information is being presented, then we can change this according to our personal preferences. Okay, in MIS we can change this, the way the column information what is coming, or the row information what is coming. If I want to change this, I can change the information. Then you have relevant information. Whatever is persistent to our department, only for that we'll have complete access, and we can extract all the information, but we can't go and analyze or interpret other department information. Okay, uses established quality criteria. This software or whatever we are going to implement, like Tally or SAP, it is going to be studied over a period of time. It is going to be experimented, tested, everything after it is being productive. Only then it will be implemented in an organization. Okay, simply just like that, they won't come and implement it in an organization. It is easy for us to give feedback in MIS because it will help us in analyzing the data and interpreting the data. Okay, so feedback is much more easier here, and it is flexible. If I want to make any changes in the way my MIS is functioning, it becomes easier for us to change the criterias or the presentation skills. Then you have modularity. Each one will be just like your subsystems what we explained. The same way there'll be modules. finance department module, purchase module, sales modules. The same will be here based on large amount of data. If the purchase department is entirely different, then I have to purchase the different module and I have to implement it in my organization. Then you have selective sharing of data. If I'm in finance department, I can't access the entire purchase department information. I told you already, whatever is required for my usage, only that data I can collect and use it. Okay, then you have computerized. The entire system works with the help of computers. So computers become very important in managing or implementing an MIS system. So what are the basic requirements of an MIS system? The first thing is you need a hardware. Yes, a proper control computer system with a proper central processing ICU and all these things. Then you have a software which will be implemented in your system, which will help you to assess the data. Then you have a database. The information whatever is available to you has to be stored in a particular fashion. For that you have a database. Then you have procedures. Procedures will be the way you input the data, you process the data, and you're going to extract the data. Everything will be made into a process. Then you have operational personnel. You always require one person who will work with the computers and give you an update. Okay, so what is happening with the systems, all these inputs will be provided by them. Okay, so you require operational people. So these are the people who are required for functioning and MIS. Then you have the limitations of MIS. So what happens with the limitations of MIS? The quality of the output of MIS will depend on the way the input is being provided. So if you want very good quality of output, then the input has to be good, otherwise MIS will not be effective. MIS is not suitable for is not a substitute for effective management. It is only going to assist the organization in being an effective management system, but it is not a substitute. It can't take decision on its own. Okay, MIS may not have requisite flexibility to quickly update itself. So regularly when it has to update manually, it will ask, can I update your software? Okay, only when we give yes, it will go ahead and update, otherwise updation is not possible. Then tailor-made information packages suitable for the purposes. So basically when I buy Tally or SAP, it is restricted. Okay, for the amount what I pay, it is going to provide me service. It won't provide me any additional service. So there is a limitation that there is a cost being involved, and my work will be as per what the payment I have made. Then quantitative factors like uh, integrity, okay, all these things can be taken into consideration. Only quantitative matters can be taken into consideration. Okay, um, less useful for making non-programmed decision making. So everything has to be a programmed way. Only when it is programmed, you'll be able to extract information. If the program or coding is not written properly, you can't extract any information from MIS. Then hold information and not share with others. Most of the times organizations will not provide access to everybody. I told you, lower level management will not have access to the top level management. So all these things will be taken into consideration, and based on that, information will be shared. Okay, it will not be given to everybody in the organization. Frequent changes in top level management will affect the structure and operational team in which MIS functions. So because top level management can change the way how they want, okay, they can customize the entire MIS system. So constantly if it is being changed, then it will be a hurdle for the entire organization. Okay, so next will be, ma'am, how will the questions be asked? I told you already. You don't have any drafting here, so we'll not ask you to draft a letter, memo, and all these things. But the textual context, whatever is there provided there, you have to study that. Based on that, we will ask you questions like this. Okay, like what are the importance in letter? What are the things essential? The word confidential will come under which kind of marking in letters. Then you have the next one is repertoire. What is the meaning? Okay, then you have like what does MIS stand for? Okay, so these will be the basic questions which will be asked from this particular chapter. I'll just open up your chat box. Kindly don't copy paste your questions, please hold on, I will explain. Okay, the ma'am, letter is important. I don't know what you understand by this. Ma'am, letter is important. Yes, letter, memos, all these things are important. That's why we are expressing. The word D is silent in budget. No, it's not. It's not budget. It's budget only. How they ask questions from this topic, I've explained you. If audio is not, if I'm not audible, kindly log out and log in. It will be audible. Ma'am, what is the elements of MIS? We have explained it. The basic elements of MIS, we have gone through all those perspectives. What is special marking? I've explained you in the previous class. What are the importance of, what are the things that comes in a letter? Okay, in that we had covered special markings. MIS concept, again in short, okay. What type of questions can be asked in MIS? Just the full form? No, not just the full form. They can ask you what are the hardwares used there, or what is the software used there, what is the planning method used by top level management, strategic planning, middle level management, it will be tactic planning, or lower level management, organizational planning, like that. Okay, they can ask you different questions like this. What is subsystem? Within an organization, we will have systems for finance department separately, purchase department separately, sales department separately. When we have different systems for each department, it will be called as subsystems. Ma'am, what type of questions will be asked on this topic? I've explained you how letters are asked for MCQs. Letters can be asked in the format of a block letter. Block letter format will always be dash aligned. Semi-block letter will always be dash aligned, or the headings in this will be dash aligned. Like that, they can ask you, or what are the like they asked you, where will the word confidential come? Special marking. Okay, like that they can ask you. Business reports, memos, graphs, all come under written communication. All these concepts so far what we have covered will come under written communication. MIS gets into soft format of maintaining your communication methods. Internal as well as external level, external management will use which level of management uses internal as well as external information, strategic level. Ma'am, it's not mentioned to use pen or paper in the. Inter is within the organization, within the department. Intra is outside the department. Okay, like one department with another department. Explain information. Okay, fine. I've requested you people not to copy paste, but I don't know why you guys copy paste the same thing, where I'll have to miss out on most of the questions. Okay, so we're just gonna start with your next chapter. I'm gonna close your okay, your chat box is closed, so nothing is going to be seen there, so kindly don't divert. Get back to the topic. So kindly listen to it. Kindly don't ask us to repeat. This is a crash course where we are trying to give you a revision. If you ask us to repeat or explain things over and again, we have time constraint. We can't do it. Okay. Since your exams are there within the next 1 week, we are trying to give it as a crash course. Okay. Kindly know that. Please listen to what's being explained. Don't keep asking the same questions in the chat box. Okay. Kindly listen to what's being explained. Then you have the next chapter that's going to cover the concept of e-correspondence. So the previous chapter we understood what is it with respect to business correspondence. So in business correspondence we understood the physical or the written format of how information is being stored. Followed by that we went across with MIS. But here we are going to understand how internet, web services, or browsers come into picture with respect to correspondence in an organization. Okay. For this perspective, first we have to understand today the world is being modernized. Everything is not like information no more is being maintained in physical format. Everything is maintained in electronic format. So electronic format coming into picture, most of all the information today is being converted into soft copies. Okay. So for this perspective, it becomes important for us that we have to understand how information systems help us in maintaining or sharing this information. Okay, so as a general perspective for you to understand the little bit of background which you would have definitely studied in your schools in computer class. Okay, what is web browser and all the same things we have given you as a brief, so you know the basics. Again, it's being brushed up as to how systems work. So here, for understanding the concept of e-correspondence, first they have explained you what is web, what is web browsers, and what is internet first. Okay, so first we will understand what is web. So the concept of web here comes into picture where, let's say in simple, okay, you would have heard many people, I'm creating a website. Okay, so what this means, they are creating some data to be available in the general specific platform, whichever platform they choose to. They are going to publish this data and everybody in the world can access this data. Okay, so for this perspective, first they will create a web page, okay, or a website. Web page is one page, website is a big page which has various drop downs, various information available, that will be called as a website. Okay, so they are creating this information, and once this information is being created, the information can be okay, how they create, once they create, what they'll do, they'll start giving it an address. Okay, that HTTP protocol, this is one of the widely spoken protocols here, which gives me information as to how a data needs to be transmitted. Okay, from one system to another system, how data will be transmitted. So we all would have studied that with the help of binary codes only the information will be transmitted in the language of 0 and 1. Okay, so the same concept will be used, and this web page will be created and it will be ready. Okay, so when these web pages are being created, it utilizes or makes use, or with the help of browsers. Okay, the browsers will come into picture next. Browsers such as Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, or Firefox. Okay, so all these browsers will come into picture, and these browsers will help us to transmit this information. Okay, so if you see, web as such will not work, okay, until it is connected to a internet service and it is connected with a browser. So the next thing what comes is, the next concept here will be browser. So browsers are nothing but the browsing systems what we have, like Google, Internet Explorer, or you might have Firefox. Okay, so all these things will come into picture, which will help us to access the information. So how this information will be accessed with www, that is World Wide Web. Okay, so this particular web will be followed by the website what I have created. Okay, that website ID will be given like www.icsc.edu. Okay, so this will be my website ID. When I give that and start browsing in that particular website, I will be able to access the information. So the information in this particular browser will be maintained in HTML language. Okay, so HTML language is a high definition language again, where the information will be stored, and this will help me to work with my hyperlinks. Okay, so after this, the various kinds of browsers will be Google Chrome, Internet, Mozilla Firefox, Safari, and all these things. Then you have the important buttons in a browser. So the important buttons will be, if you have opened one Google Sheet, you would have seen this. There will be a back button and a forward button, followed by a tab where you will give the information what you want. Then your tabs will be your small tabs like this. Okay, then after that you will have address bar where you can input the web ID or website address. Then you can have the recent history where you can check what are the previous things what I have served for. Then you have refresh button which will help you to reload the page. Then you have stop, which will help you to stop from processing or downloading any information. Then you have home page. Then you have search button. Okay, all these things will be available in your browser. Okay, then the next concept is internet. So what happens with internet? Internet is basic thing. What we have to understand is it just works on my telephone lines. Okay, so just like how telephone calls could be passed across, the similar way internet is being used in order to transfer information. Okay, so with the help of internet alone we can use a browser to access websites. So without internet it is not possible for us to interpret the information. So how does internet work? Internet is a platform which helps one computer to speak with another computer, okay, and to grasp the information, or one computer to speak with the server computer and grasp the information. The language what here it will be used is either TCP or IP, okay, transfer control protocol or internet protocol, okay. So if you don't know these short forms, or if you're not able to remember, don't worry, go go give the short forms in Google. It will give you the actual full form of that. Write it down and keep it. Might be in exams they can ask you that also. What is TCP or what is IP? Things like that. Okay, questions are possible to be asked. So these things are the things with which one computer speaks with another computer. So each computer or each system will be having an IP address. Based on the IP address, it will be easier for us to identify which computer has connected with the other computer to grasp information. Okay, then you have with this help it will be easier for us to access online data. So basically first I'm going to create something called as web page or website. Then I'm going to connect this data with browser, web browser. So after connecting it with the web browser, I'm going to use something called as internet to access the browsers in order to access the websites where information will be available. Okay, so this is how internet basically works. So after knowing this, we are getting into the next concept as to e-correspondence. So e-correspondence is basically commonly called as email correspondence or electronic correspondence. So you can either call it as e-correspondence or electronic correspondence. Then it becomes very important for providing information through your emails. Okay, so for accessing your email, you always require a valid email address in order to receive information via email. That is like name at whichever site you're using, followed by .com, .in, .co.in, whichever aspect is applicable. Okay, so generally you require an email ID. Then the concept of email. So what are the importance of email, or how does it basically work? So basically email is something where is the process of sending or receiving mails, files, okay, data, message through a computer modem which will be connected to the telephone line or telephone wires to pre-select a mailbox or address. So from one computer to another computer. So with the help of okay, I have one system, I'm drafting one mail, I'm trying to send it. When I try to send it, my system has to be connected to one particular modem which will work with the help of telephone line. It will help to transfer this information to another system. So which system will it send? The system where this particular email ID I have addressed, that particular address is being logged in to that particular inbox, it will go and drop it. Okay, so this is how a email system works. It all works with the help of mailing list. If I want to send data to a large number of people, then I can go with mail merge option. If you don't know what is mail merge option, kindly go through YouTube videos or something. Okay, it will help you to understand how mail merge works. But that's not a concept for CSEET. But for your understanding, if you want to know, then you'll ask, ma'am, what is mail merge? Okay, so we can't cover the topic, it's little big. So you can go and learn it through any YouTube channels. Okay, then you can, what are the things that I can send through an email? I can send business presentations, engineering blueprints, book chapters or detailed contracts, graphics, files, figures, PDF, JPEG. Okay, so all this information can be sent across with the help of email. Okay, then you have this in fact has helped a business to communicate with another business enterprise very efficiently by sending all the information in a timely method. Imagine if you had to go with the courier service where we had to go post, then wait for the information to go to the other person, wait for another three days, he will check the information, then again send another courier. Okay, it will again come back to you. So all this process would have taken you a long time. Okay, but today it has become efficient, where you're not going with a long process. It is being reduced. Okay, all these efficiency is increased with the help of email, which gives us, that's what, one is efficiency, one is speed, and 24 hours availability. Okay, even if the person is not in office, he can check it through his mobile phone and let us know what decision to be taken. So it has become easier for world to access information and process it faster. And today, even if you're a small business person, if you want to become big or enhance your production and operations, it will be possible with the help of using technology efficiently. Okay, the word electronic mail short form is considered as email, and email came, saw, and conquered the World Wide Web. So what they say is, with the help, say, email came as a small concept, but today we just saw what is the need for information to be transferred at a high pace, speed, time, efficiency. We just saw all these things. Slowly, what happened? Emails have become the essential things over the period of life. Okay, so today, even if you want to appear for your exams, the link will be sent through email. Okay, so that much is the dependency on email services today by the entire globe. Okay, this is necessity is the mother of all inventions. So with the being a proverb that has been properly implemented with the concept of email. Okay, so we all required something that can work at a very fast pace, and today that is being available, and that was possible only because we had that basic necessity. Then we are just going to understand the quick history of how emails came into picture. Okay, so if you see in 1965 in MIT University, for the first time they explained something called as email, which is known as mailbox. Okay, they invented something called as mailbox in MIT, and they told we are going to invent this concept, and they projected something in 1965. Okay, then after that, what happened? They understood if email has to be accessed, it has to be accessed through email address. So how do we give an address? Then what happened? A person called Tomlinson came up and said, we will use the word at as an addressing standard. Okay, so he was the person who came and invented something called as user at host. That is, username at host can be Yahoo, Gmail, Hotmail, Rediff. Okay, so anything can be the host, followed by a .com, .in, anything. So that's the reason why he's being called as father of email. So these things can be asked in your exam. Who is considered as father of email? Okay, Tomlinson. Tomlinson is considered as dash. Okay, they can ask you the reverse way, or they can ask you what did he invent? User at host. Okay, so these can be the different questions. Then you have in 1974, email was some, like, email got improved when it was being used in the US military system for the very first time. Okay, so in 1975, what happened? They tried to the concept of email bore fruit. That is, it became more productive when it was being implemented. Here, how they implemented, it was being used in the operational area. They had access controlling, so everybody didn't have access, only few people had access. So how access was being provided? It was provided with the help of a secret password, and here they created separate folders. That is, folders for incoming messages and folders for outgoing messages. So basically, they gave access control to only few people, and they could access it with the help of secret passwords. Then they also came up with the concept saying that we will have two folders. One folder is incoming messages, and the other folder will be outgoing messages. Today we have it as inbox and sent. Okay, so over the period of time it is developed. So this is the platform where they first implemented this. Then what happened? In the year 1976, again, the concept of email marketing was being established. Okay, so slowly, okay, this concept can be used because it is already being used in the military system. We will start using this in the general system as well, and they started using this. So what was the package being provided then? Then the commercial package was being provided. Okay, just like how we had Airtel postpaid package and all these things, like that they gave us a small package, and they charged it per minute. Charges were being applicable. Okay, and offline reading was not being provided then, and even if you wanted to do an offline reading, you had to log into the system, and only then we could utilize it. In 1972, the process in which emails used to be sent was using a file transfer protocol. Okay, so file transfer protocol created a separate mail for every recipient and then dispatched it, which resulted in loss of precious memory. So here, if you see, today we have group mailing. So one mail, if I want to send it to all the CSEET students across India, it is possible. Okay, like 300, 400. It's depending on my bandwidth and paid scale. If I want to send it to everybody, it is possible. Or people registered region wise, might be Delhi or Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, whoever are registered region wise, based on that also I can send across the information. Okay, so all this is possible today, but those days what had to happen, individually I had to send it to each email ID. So group mailing was not possible, and this resulted in loss of a lot of space. Okay, because the same mail had to be sent to hundreds of people repeatedly. In my inbox there'll be 100 mails, outbox there'll be 100 mails. Okay, SMTP is a simple mail transfer protocol in early 1980, but this failed to control the cases of forgery because multiple records were being completed, and NAVE protocol in the verification of the authenticity of the user. So it became very difficult for us because duplication became too much. Okay, so duplication couldn't be controlled even with the invention of SMTP. Then this also resulted in email viruses, worms, and spammers being exploited. So it started giving way for virus and worms and all these things. Then uh, then the next concept came, which was called as POP, that is Post Office Protocol, as a standard for receiving emails. Here, clients to receive messages from the mail server using a connection does not support offline retrieval of messages. So here, clients could get the message from a detailed one server. Okay, there used to be one server. From there, they could get all the information. But here, if you see, even here it didn't support offline reading of messages. So today you have, even if you don't log into your internet, you can open your Gmail in your phone. The messages offline, once if it is read, it will open up, but before it never used to open up. Okay, then they came up with the next concept called as internet message access protocol, which will be message received when the receiver is not signed in. So even if the even if I have an email account, if I have not signed in the account, the message will come and fall in my inbox. When I sign in, it will show as new messages being available. Okay, so this concept was being provided. Then after that they came up with after that they came up with free in 1990s free and user friendly email service providers that was being provided. Free service was being provided by Yahoo and Hotmail. Okay, in this they both started giving free email access with .com boom. The season was being called as .com boom, and then there were more than 600 million users across the globe. The newer players like Google and Rediff also started entering the market. Okay, so by 1919 this all started and it became a big boom. Right? This is with respect to how emails came into picture. So kindly go through the same once again. You will understand how it is being functioning, or how it came into functioning. Then, what are the features of an email? The features of email will be it is electronic. Yes, it uses a lot of HTML languages and electronic platforms to transmit all this information. Okay, it is cost effective. Yes, today with the help of a lot of technology being developed and transmissions being made into cheap, and availability, like widespread availability, is being provided, so economies of scales can be achieved by telephone operators, and hence it has become cost effective. Okay, we don't have per minute charging or so many MBs being charged. Okay, it's being relatively cheaper. Then you have packages. Today, if I want mail services for my company alone, okay, then I can go with like just what you have at icsi.edu. Okay, that is a paid website where people working in that organization will have a separate email ID. Or if they're working for Yahoo, or if they're working for, let's say, ABC company, it will be at abccompany.in. Okay, so we can buy these packages for each company however we want. Then you have interface. It becomes easier for us to transmit data with email, and if I want to extract data also, it is easier from an email. That is, cut, copy, paste material from one page to another. If I want to do it from some other place to email, it is possible. From email, if I want to paste it somewhere also, it is possible today. Okay, then you have attachments. Emails do provide attachments where if I want to send any pictures, videos, or data, texts, presentations, worksheets, okay, documents, all these things can be given as attachments. Spam is another option where if I don't want any mails to come into my mailbox, and if I think any virus is being transferred through that particular mailbox, first and foremost what we'll do, we will transfer that particular email ID into spam, and next time whatever information comes, it will fall into spam. Then you have signature. Every mail in the settings, if you go and check, you can attach a signature, and that will be helpful for like every time you need not give a signature. Every time you open an email, automatically the signature will be appearing. Then you have search. It becomes easier for us today that if any information is come into my email, it becomes easier for me to search just with the name or with the subject or any code word that I know. With this help, I can start searching. Then you have cloud storage. The information today is not being served in a or saved in a particular server which is being located in a particular place. It is working with the help of cloud technology, where information is being transferred into cloud technology and it is being retrieved from there. How cloud technology works, again, kindly go back and study. It's not there for your exam perspective, but if you still want to know, you can learn it through Google or any other platforms, how cloud technology works. Okay, and change at the workplace. It's easier for us to get any changes in the workplace, and it helps in virtual workplace being working efficiently. Like today, how we have work from home and all these things, or flexi working time, anybody can work at any time. This is all possible with the help of emails. Okay, so if I want to send information, I can send it to anybody, and I can just keep them updated, and they will reply back to me. Okay, these things are possible. Then, what are the features of an email account? In an email account, what are the things that is available? One is inbox, where all the messages come in. Sendbox, what is being sent across from me. Draft, I have drafted the mail, but still I have not sent. Those messages will fall into my draft. Spam, if I don't want any information and feel that certain um, um, virus or some other wrong information is being shared to me, those mail IDs can be put in a spam. Then I have trash. Delete box is basically called as my trash. Okay. Then another account in general usage. Okay, an email account in general usage has the following options. One is compose mail, where if I want to write or send or address a mail to somebody, I can start with compose mail. Then I have contacts. Contacts, once if I save a particular email address, it will be saved in my contacts. Next time I just give the starting letter of that starting letter, like A or something. Every email address with A will pop up. Okay, to field, if I want to send the message to somebody, it will be put in to field. CC will be additionally, if I want to send it to somebody, it will be in CC, that is carbon copy. Then you have BCC. Again, if I want to send the information to somebody, but I don't want the to and CC to know, then it will be coming into BCC. If you want to learn again more about to CC and BCC, kindly go back and check with some Google search or something. It will help you understand. Because of time constraint, we can't go in detail and explain. Or you can see the YouTube video if it is being uploaded. We have done it in the regular class. Okay, so then we have subject. Subject will be the heading what we give. Okay, so subject can be used for sending the information. Like in the letter we told you how subject will come, the same subject you can give it here. Then you have text area. Text area is the place where we are going to input the information whatever we want. Then we have send. Once the entire information is being drafted and we are ready, we can go and give it as send. If you want to give it as contact groups, even that is possible today. We can create groups in email account, where all the related email IDs, we can put it as one group, and if I write that particular group name, the mail will go to everybody in that particular group. Okay, that's what is with the help of groups. These things comes with the help. These things come under the email account. Then you have electronic mail system. So this is again the same. So email management tools are being implemented today, and it helps entrepreneurs and managers to address a array of issues what's coming into picture, and it helps us. This has reduced the burden of storage because emails today are provided free of cost, and Gmail and all these things are provided free of cost, and you can have number of mails coming into your account. Okay, and you need not pay for that particular service what is being provided. Okay, it also helps you to detect virus. Spam blocking is being provided, search facility is being provided, all of this is provided at free of cost. Then optimal personal optimizing personal email use. So once how you can improvise your email services, that is if you have a personal email id, how you can improvise in presenting this information, like maximizing the efficiency of their company's email system. Okay, so we are trying the best possible way. If you have a personal email id, with this personal email id you can actually create your own brand. Okay, like own personality, present this personality in a big way. So how can I create a professional personality with the help of an email? That is standard of professionalism, that is have proper grammar, correct spelling, tone, courtesy, structure, content. Okay, try to keep all these things in line. Then avoid emoticons, that is don't use smileys and all these things in your official mails. Then maintain separate account for official and personal email. So kindly don't merge up your professional email and personal email id. Kindly have different email ids for both. Then you have avoid spamming. Don't if some information is there, okay, don't be spamming that information. That is, let's say you have got some information, don't send that information to 100 people every day morning, like good morning, good afternoon, good night and all these things. Okay, don't try to do that. Then limit the size of attachments. Generally for gmail it is 25 MB, so you can see what is it for each company. So if I have a paid server, my attachment size depends on that. Based on that we can go ahead. Then you have a standard signature for your office email id. So we have told you what is signatures. You can go and set it in the settings box. So there you'll give it as name, what is your designation, what is your phone number. Okay, you can give all these information, and always try to respond promptly to office emails. That is within 24 hours. If you're able to respond, kindly respond. Might be if it is Friday and if it's a weekend, then make sure once you are hitting back to work on Monday, you respond to this by the end of Monday. Okay, don't take it more than that. Then setting up efficient daily email practices. So every day keep it as a habit where you go and check all your email. So it helps you to create a proper like bonding. Okay, so it helps you to have good relationship with your sender. Then delete all old messages if not required. Review incoming emails constantly and at a regular interval. Invest in supplementary tools like email spam, or that may actually try to stop all the important message from coming into your emails. So try to avoid these things. And always ensure that what you're using, whether it is a reply or reply all feature. Okay, be sure on this and make sure proper information is being sent across. And the other important thing is use the fields to CC and BCC. Okay, so make sure when you're sending all these things, it is being sent across in the proper way. Okay, don't try to mess up with the address what is being put across in to CC and BCC. Then proper email correspondence. Different types of email correspondence are being available. That is, you can use it for business, you can use it for personal, or you can, today with the COVID situation, even school kids have started to use this. Okay, proper ways of sending email to other people is very important, and keep reading all the mails whatever is being marked to you. Okay, that's much more important. So they have just given an example, we're not just going through that. Then you have email etiquettes. So what happens with email etiquettes? Here, kindly ensure that what you're trying to express to the other person, it's being precise. Okay, so kindly mind your manners here. That is growing up like saying please, thank you, courtesy, all those things becomes very important. Then address people you don't know as Mr., Mrs., or Doctor. So if you don't know a person or if you have not met them and this is the first time, the salutations what you're using needs to be taken care of. Okay, don't try to mess up with your salutations. Kindly ensure proper salutations are being used. Then always watch your tone. I've told you already, Merriam Webster's MI from W, the same thing. Kindly ensure accent or the way you express, the mood, the tone, how it can be used. Is it polite or is it harsh? Okay, try to be respectful, friendly, and approachable when they're trying to come back to you. Keep your system open. If any feedback, if any clarifications, kindly get back. Okay, so have all these words in your mail so it becomes easier for your reader to have a good connect with you. Be concise. Don't drag your email into a lot of pages. Okay, keep it crisp and clear, brief. That's what is called as brevity. Keep it brief and try to explain all the things what is required, so the other person, reader, need not spend too much of time, but they will get all the information. Be professional. That is, don't use any abbreviations until and unless it is known to the other person. Don't use emoticons, and also don't use suggestive email address for business communication. Okay, kindly have your standard email address and always use one email address. Don't use multiple email address. It might confuse the recipient. Use correct spelling and proper grammar. Most of the times it is being linked with your Microsoft or word characters, spelling characters, everything is there today. So it might take care, but still read it a couple of times before you send it. Wait to fill in the two email address. So first, don't write your two email address, write your subject, draft all the information. Then before you send, only at that time write your two. Otherwise, by mistake, if you send off two, it won't go. Okay. So always make sure these things are being taken care of. Then you have advantages and disadvantages of email. So what are the basic advantages? Here, managing email is easy. Yes, then managing letters. Okay, you can understand how difficult it will be to manage a letter that comes into your organization. So many letters will be coming. We can't organize the entire letters. We have to keep it in folders, that, this, and that. So with the help of emails, it is easier. Email is fast. Yes, like courier service, it won't be delayed. It is easy. It is faster. Email is inexpensive. Yes, the cost involved in sending an actual post will be higher, but courier services provide. Email services is being provided at a very less price. So if you have internet connections, that's more than enough. And if you're working in a company, then we have to buy a server for our particular company. That is like at ABC or company.com, like that. Okay, easy. Email is easy to filter. If I have to take out any data or analyze any data, it is easier for me. Transmission is secure and reliable, so no third party can come and access it or like take away any information. All those things will not be there in email. Okay, then you have the disadvantages of email. So what are the disadvantages? It is basically time consuming. Yes, because you have to draft. Even in your letters, the same will be there. You have to draft and read it over and again. So it is relatively time consuming. Security, if somebody is trying to hack your system or take off the information, then security system plays an important role, and this can be relatively disadvantageous if you are being hacked. Then impersonal communication. If you are having email communication, at no time you would have met that person or spoken to that person. Might be you'll be talking to so many people in your chapter, right? But you wouldn't have gone there. You don't know whom you're talking to or to whom you're sending an email. Okay, all these things is a possibility in possible disadvantage in email communication. Misunderstandings can be created if proper information is not being shared. So try to keep your emails very clear and crisp, so entire information can be explained to them. If information is not being explained, then it can lead to misunderstanding. Vulnerability, the information what is being shared can be vulnerable. Okay, so if vulnerable information is not being protected by the receiver, if he also misuses that, then it will become a problem for both the sender and the receiver. Okay, sender might have sent some very confidential information, but if he is not taking care of that information, you can lose valuable information. Okay, they can make use of that information and make money. Then internet connectivity is important. If we don't have proper internet connectivity, then emails can't be accessed. So that's the reason why internet plays a very important role. If not, it will affect or hamper our process. Okay, so this is a possible disadvantage. Okay, intranet, I'll just take it tomorrow because I want to explain it a little bit more. I can't do it in the next 2-3 minutes. Okay, I'll take it for next 4-5 like 10 minutes in the next class. I'll explain what is intranet, and after that we will start with your doubt sessions in the next class. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can paste it. I request once again, it's a kind request, kindly don't copy paste your questions. Hold on, I will answer. Okay. In just a minute. Okay. Ma'am, what does HTTP stands for? HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Okay, IP means Internet Protocol. What is drafting? Drafting is the way you draft a letter or a document, that is being called as drafting. Okay. Okay, what is CC and BCC? CC is carbon copy, BCC is blind carbon copy. Okay, we are not explaining it in detail. In simple, if I want to tell you, I'm sending the mail to A, I'm sending CC to BC, I'm sending BCC E to E and D. Okay, so 2 will know that he has sent to E and D, but BC will not know that it is being sent to E and D. Okay, this is the simple concept. So 2 in 2 field I'll put A, in CC I will put B and C, in BCC I'll put E and D. A will know that the message is sent to E and D. E and D will know that the message is sent to A by A to B, C, E, D. Okay, but BC will not know who are the additional people to whom the message is being sent. So if you want additional information how this really works, kindly go and study that particular section. You will know that. Okay. Tomorrow's doubt session, yes, I will take a class for 5 or 10 minutes. I will just clear this intranet topic, and after that we will start with doubt session. Yes. What about chapter 8? I will explain it. See, we are not covering chapter 8 because it is just the words with their meanings, which you can go ahead and study on your own. Tomorrow is the last session. Yes, tomorrow is the last session. Thank you so much. Welcome. Whether typing a letter is drafting? Yes. Typing any document and keeping it as a draft will be called as drafting. Once it's being finalized, you can print the document. Ma'am, please explain BCCC. It's being explained. What is HTML? That somewhere we saw. Sorry, I'm not able to recall. HTML was being explained before. The session was great. Thank you. Thank you. But without pen and paper, how can one think and write answers for logical reasoning and jumbling sentence? I am not sure. You have to prepare on this. All your exams questions we can't help. Does spamming contain unwanted emails? Yes. That's what we call as spamming, when unwanted emails are being sent. At times, even a virus can be sent across with this help. Ma'am, tomorrow's doubt session, how to appear to test, will be explained. No, we are not just explaining how to appear for exam. We are explaining only the doubts with respect to BC. If you have any doubts, kindly go through the entire chapter, that is the entire subject. If you have any doubts, kindly mark that and come back. We will be helping you to explain that. Okay. What is cost effective? Cost effective means when the expenses are being reduced, it is being called as cost effective. What is the full form of web? There's no full form. It's just web. That's all. What is BCCC? Done. What is chapter 8? Done. What is TCP and ICP? Transfer Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. We are not explaining what it is because it is not there in your subject. Okay, if you want to know more, then kindly Google or do something and learn for your information. For exam, like for with respect to the subject, it's not too much in detail to explain you how a system works and all these things. Ma'am, tell me please what to tell. Will you give important terms from chapter 8? Tomorrow we'll take care of that. HTML, hypertext, hypertext, some language it is. See, I'm not doing all these things in detail. HTML or HTTP, IP, TCP. See, these are just the concepts which you have to know. If you want to know more about it, kindly go do your research and learn for your interest. With exam perspective, we won't ask you how HTTP works and all these things because this is not computer management system or exam related to that. Ma'am, difference between office memorandum and office circular. Office memorandum and office circulars are generally being used within the organization, but within the department, if I want to do or with a small amount of employees, then it will be memorandum. If it needs to be sent across to the entire organization, then it will be through office circulars. I have doubt from last chapter. Kindly ask in the next class, which is just doubt clearing session. Do we have to prepare for more than this material? No, what is given in the material is more than enough. It's being explained clearly. Thank you. We can solve. I don't know why repeatedly you asked the same. Session was informative. Thank you. What is consortium? Consortium is not here, I think. No chapter speaks about consortium financing. Markup language. It is just a. I didn't understand. You're asking me what is hypertext markup language or? Okay. But it has said the doubt clearing session will contain how you can appear online mode for exam. See, online mode, we are not explaining you about how to register in your website and all that is not being explained. We are just telling you how to appear for your exam and what are the doubts that you have with respect to this particular chapter that will be cleared here. That's all. Consortium is that a consortium, if it is there in the last chapter, it is just the meaning of that particular word. Might be that I will try to explain you in a word or two. Don't worry. Okay, that I will help you to explain certain words, but not in detail what is consortium financing. Okay, sure. We will just close the class for today and we will meet up tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll just take up 5 or 10 minutes of intranet and after that we will start with your doubt sessions. So if you have any doubts with respect to the subject, kindly prepare and come. Don't ask me doubts of how to register, how to log in, can I use a pen, paper, pencil. See, all those things we will not be able to help you. You have to check with your chapter. Okay. Yeah, thank you.